Hi, my name is Dominic. I'm making this so I can talk about something that affects me. Obviously, if you've been watching my videos, you figured this out by now. I have Tourette syndrome. I don't try and hide that. I'm unfortunately plagued by it, and it's actually pretty bad. Before in my videos, I would try and cut around them unless because if I said something funny, sure, I'd keep it in the video. But for the most part, I just cut around them. But recently, I've been starting to include more and more of them in my videos. I mean, I even have a video now that is just me ticking. A good portion of my Lethal Company videos that hasn't come out yet is just me having a pre-game tick fit and then that continuing into the game. I guess I wanted to talk about what it's like for me because it's not something that I imagine is very well understood, which is fair because even most neurologists don't really understand it because, excuse my little side rant here, it's not usually deadly and it's semi-rare-ish, semi-common, I'm not actually sure. My point is there's not much research or money going into finding a cure for it or finding out what causes it. I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome, I think 3 years ago, maybe two. I actually can't remember, but I've had tics since I was maybe 8. Maybe before that, I wouldn't remember. That's just what I've been told by my parents, which scared me a lot because I didn't know what it was. Then I was able to more or less self diagnose Tourette's about a month before I was officially diagnosed by neurologists. Last year, it's gotten a lot worse, physically and verbally, and I wanted to talk about it. Tourette's isn't very well portrayed or understood, I imagine, in a social media setting. There are memes about it, which is, some of those are pretty funny, but no one actually, at least from what I've seen, very rarely do people actually talk about what it is like having it in an actual day to day life. People might know what Tourette syndrome is, but they might not necessarily know what it does to someone. In my videos, for example, my Tourette's is usually nothing more than just me swearing or saying something stupid or throwing the finger, uh, or throwing things. Several other pretty common tics. But it's not just when I'm recording. It's not like I just turn it on whenever there's a camera pointed at me. I struggle speaking in calls with people or talking to people in general because I'll constantly interrupt myself by either suppressing and going silent or just saying something or jerking, which stops me. Sometimes I'll even forget what I was talking about because I'm so startled by it. I have difficulties walking because my legs can tick and I'll just fall over and I have to try and catch myself, which thankfully isn't that common. It gets worse during bad tick fits when I've had a rough day. When I'm excited or angry or sad or any emotion, my brain, my tics get worse. I have trouble picking up spoons and forks because I'll reach into the drawer and grab one and my hand will start doing this, or I'll jerk away before I can reach it and get to it. Or sometimes I'll be able to pick it up and then I'll take and throw it, which has thankfully only happened a few times. I have yet to throw a knife. I'm scared of handling knives because one time I was holding one of my knives that had the sheath on it and I ticked and I tried to stab it into my neck, which hurt, but it didn't kill me because the sheath was on, but if it wasn't, I might be dead. So I struggle handling sharp objects. It scares me. I struggle with glass or anything fragile because I'm scared I'll drop it or throw it. I'm scared to go to public places like restaurants or grocery stores, the DMV, anywhere with people in it because what if I tick and say something? I mean, I could say something embarrassing. That's not that bad. But what's going to happen if I'm in a Walmart and I'm walking up to someone and I tick and say a racial slur? Or I hit someone? Which is, again, something that has happened to me. Thankfully, not to strangers, but to myself and to some members of my family. It's honestly, it's almost like my own personal hell sometimes. I've had tick fits that have gone on for hours, and I've said things so much that it starts to hurt my throat from how violently I'm ticking. I'll hit myself, sometimes my crotch, my chest, my face, my neck. I can hurt myself in a lot of ways with Tourette's. It's scary. I struggle going to sleep at night because I'll lay in bed and I'm getting comfy and then I'll tick, my entire body will shake, and I have to restart the cycle again. In calls, when I'm just talking to my friends, if I tick and say something, we all just kind of laugh at it, you know. And I don't mind that. Sometimes it is funny. It's healthy to look on the somewhat humorous side of things, but only so much of it is verbal and only so much of it is funny. I'm also making this because on the internet, when we're talking about Tourette's, there are a lot of people who are faking it for attention, which is infuriating for me, and probably infuriating for everyone with Tourette's. It's not cool to fake a disability. It's not funny. It's amoral. I'm scared one day someone's going to accuse me of faking my Tourette's, and I can't do anything about that. I can't convince people I'm not lying. I have Tourette's, but if you don't believe me, there's only so much I can do. I could try finding and digging up my medical documents and posting those, but I don't want to do that, and quite frankly, I don't even know if I can, because I don't know where those are. I might be able to call a doctor and get them printed out, but that's not the point. It needs to be talked about what it's actually like. I don't know, I just wanted to post this. And this might not be the last time I talk about this. This is not my average style of content, but it needs to be said. Tourette syndrome kinda sucks. Hopefully one day someone develops a cure. Because honestly, I don't know how well I can live the rest of my life suffering like fuck off. Sorry. Fuck. Suffering like I do. No one should have to actually go through this. And my heart goes out to everyone that does have it, even if it's just mild. Obviously, I got unfortunate. I was given the rare symptom of caprolalia, and also just have very aggressive tics that are unpredictable. They aren't specific. I can say all sorts of random things, some offensive, some funny, some mundane. I can tick, and sure, it's kind of funny if I throw up the finger, but throwing my food or whatever I'm holding, a bottle of water that happened, or a glass of water that happened in my Lethal Company video. It's an almost constant struggle in my day-to-day life. Sure, some days I'll be able to go almost entire days of barely ticking at all. Other times I'll tick several times in a very short amount of time. Sometimes I'll just keep ticking for almost an hour. There's not much I can do about it. I am on medication for it, but that only does so much. Because there isn't really medication for Tourette's. There's just a few medications. Well, as far as I know, there's only a few medications that sometimes help with the symptoms. No one knows what causes Tourette's. There's theories, but I don't know. It's a poorly misunderstood thing, and I highly recommend looking it up and doing your research into it. There's a subreddit r/Tourette's that I visit quite frequently. It's funny and it's sometimes informative. There's a lot of people asking questions about their own condition there, and that it's a community. We help each other, I suppose. I hope this video was educational or helpful. My goal with this channel, with my videos, is a passion project. It's something I do for fun. But considering how prevalent it's becoming in my videos, I am partially, anyways, I want to do this so that hopefully I can spread awareness about my condition and about the condition that many other people have. And I hope that with this video at least, I can at least reach anyone, and that someone, you watching this, will take the time to go and look into it, maybe educate yourself on it, maybe spread the word. I wanted to make this so that I could reach out to someone, anyone, no matter how few or how many, and maybe help to guide people in the direction of learning more. To guide people in the direction and learn more about the condition, learn how it affects people, raise awareness for it. I'd be very grateful if somehow in some small way I can make the life just a little bit easier for people with Tourette syndrome. I think that's all I need to say. Thank you.